So here we are moving into the last game of the final round of Swiss. Again, myself on the right there playing Weyland and Sai on the left playing Noise. Those of you who are watching this and who haven't seen the other games in February's tournament yet will know obviously that I've been playing some absolutely sterling games, some truly triple A material that has both delighted and entertained one and all, old and young, male and female. For those of you who have watched the previous games will know that that's absolutely a complete falsification, and that it's been pretty dire and fairly dismal. I am well and truly located in the mine dungeon, not just in the mine dungeon, I would suggest, but perhaps within the Iron Maiden of the mine dungeon. Its doors truly shut on me, and spikes poking in to my delicate pink flesh. So it's pretty bad. Neither of us took a mulligan for this game. Switches us obviously one small mercy. I'm pretty sure it's the first Corp game I've played without taking a mulligan. So I can see I've got some ice, I've got a beanstalk, I've got a Project Atlas, and I've got a sea sauce in hand. Happy days. So yes, things are looking up certainly. Sai again obviously playing his Noise deck. I actually talked to Sai before the tournament even started and said that this matchup would probably be, without question, my worst. All of my ice is relatively low strength, apart from Hadrian's Wall. All very, very much parasite prone, and I'm sure, of course, that won't be a problem in this game, will it? As you see, in my mandatory draw, I drew up another Project Atlas, just to add it more insult to injury. Not really what I needed there, but ice Beanstalk, so fairly good opening still. So Sai will play an Armitage code busting, which I think is great economy in Anarch at the moment. It's a way of getting quickly and getting sort of burst economy in Anarch, which is what they're missing, obviously, along with decent tutoring for cards other than viruses. Again, I know this deck relatively well. I know he's going to be running some Sashaharas to continually regurgitate and the parasites all over me and all over my face. He'll play the Plascrete. yeah, that's great. So he'll play the Plascrete, draw, and I think he's going to draw again. So he sees some money and passes over the turn to me. So there goes the scorched earth win. Obviously I saw the sea source, but now things are looking a little bit more ropey. So I will install and res Jackson and draw 2. Seeing a punitive counter-strike. I've still got 2 Atlases in hand there, and what looks like a Hadrian's, I believe. No, sorry, Chimera. Oh, Chimera. I would never tire of seeing Chimeras. We'll install that Chimera and set up a new remote, hopefully getting ready to score out some lovely Project Atlasy goodness. So, first click, he will run... Oh, sorry, first click he drew, second click he will run R&D, at which point I will res the Ice Wall and say, no sir, not this time. Sorry, I'm a little bit excitable at the moment, mainly because this is the last game and I will no longer have to commentate on the absolute horrendous nature of the February tournaments. So you'll play a Djinn and then pass it over to me, after drawing up. So I'm going to install into the remote I've set up, the Chimera, and I'm going to advance it twice. So I'm looking to overscore an Atlas. Not just score an Atlas, ladies and gentlemen, overscore an Atlas. Obviously, again, not necessarily for the taggy-baggy goodness, but if he, well, for instance, if he does steal a 3-point agenda here, I can go and fetch the extra punitive counter-strike, perhaps I may need, or potentially I can obviously fetch the Scorched I need, or even an agenda. So I'm feeling good. All I need to do now is score it. He's a little bit low on cash. Obviously, he has the Armitage to draw upon, but he doesn't have a huge amount of money. He will take some cash off of Armitage code busting. And he'll do it again. Second click. Third click he will shore gamble, taking lots and lots of lovely money. And finally, I think giving some thought as to whether he wants to run the remote server. He is going to play a Grimoire. So all those viruses are going to be coming on with extra counters, which is exactly what he wants to be doing. Getting ready for some Parasite Love, and obviously with 2 Ice Walls and a Chimera on the board, that's not good. That's bad. I've got an Enigma in hand as well. I'm sure that 2 strength will really challenge those Parasites. So, do I score out? Of course I do, because he's coming for me with parasites. So I will score out the Project Atlas with 2 advancement counters on it. I can now go and fetch the cards I need. Marvellous. And makes me 2 points up to the good. I have another Project Atlas in hand, but not the money really to be able to protect and score it, so I'm not going to play that yet. I need some cash. I need some lovely burst economy. So he will first click, use the ability of Jin, paying a credit and a click to go and fetch a virus. And lo and behold, he will find his parasite, which he shows to me. And so the mill engine will commence. So that obviously goes into his hand, into his grip, sorry, Netrunner terminology. He will pay 2, and he will put that onto my ice wall. It obviously comes on with a virus counter already, so at which point it demolishes my ice wall. And he will run 3rd click and see nothing on R&D. Obviously I forgot to mill one, so what I did was he saw both cards, but that was my own fault, so I forgot to mill the card. So I put that face down, and then I let him saw the card underneath it, which is a restructure, which would have been nice a little while ago. This is the problem with restructures I've been finding. Getting up to restructure territory is increasingly difficult. So I'll draw 2 of Jackson and see some ice. Wall of statics, much better. Happier with those. So long as we don't see a barrier, we're okay. So I will install the Enigma and take a credit. I want something a bit cheaper, and I'll discard one of them, keeping both punitives in hand, and as well as the agenda I have there. Getting rid of, I think I got rid of both wall of statics there. I'm not quite sure why. Ice is the order of the day. So there we go. That's bad play number 1, ladies and gentlemen. It is deciding whether to res that or so. What's the point? He's not going to steal that Project Atlas, the 1 card in hand. No, he sees the there. He sees the I can't, good grief, the name's absolutely surpassed me now. Anyway, moving on. 2nd click. Punitive counter-strike, there we go. I knew as soon as I stopped thinking about it, it would come. So he sees the Enigma and loses his 3rd click. You've got 1 click left. I think we're about to see some Parasite recursion coming through. He plays Daily Casts, last click. So getting his economy going. He still has the Armitage to draw upon, and he's now got some click-free economy in the shape of Daily Casts. So I will draw 2 of Jackson. I will draw 2 of Jackson. I'm looking for some economy here, and not seeing any. And I'll draw 2 of Jackson. Seeing absolutely a grand total of 0 economy cards. So, yeah, that's great. I'll discard some agendas. I have got the hostile takeover there, so it's not all bad. I'm kind of hoping for a flatline win here. I don't know why. I should have been trying to score here. Again, as I say, this was not my finest hour. I'm discarding all the ice, which is just huge error of gargantuan proportions, because it's the ice that I need. He's going to be demolishing the ice, but no, I have decided to throw away all my ice and give him an easy ride, which isn't that clever, really. Maybe I'm just hoping to dump 4 points worth of agendas in archives, 5 points worth of agendas, and make him steal it all, and then just do double punitive. Obviously I don't have the money for that, so that's probably not so much. So he will use Jin again, and shoot her out in front of the virus. For another parasite, sorry. This is the last game of the 4th round of Swiss, 7 of which I have lost, and 6 of which I've lost. And so this isn't great, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that he will put a parasite on my Enigma, locking down R&D quite nicely. I will draw, see a Scorched. So yeah, I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I don't have the money to be able to score the hostile takeover, which is a real kicker. At which point, if I do click for money here, then the Enigma will go bye-bye. Don't have any decent economy cards, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to discard the Neural EMP. Keep Scorched, keep Sea Source, and keep the Punitive Counter-Strikes. He hasn't stolen any agenda points yet, so the Punitives could become the bomb. However, I am seriously lacking on funds. I don't particularly want to use my Project Atlas tokens to get Beanstalk royalties. A little bit of a waste. I want to win with them, damn it. So he will once again tutor for a virus and bring out medium. Yet now we have problems. Significant problems, ladies and gentlemen, significant. I do have snares in the deck, and I even have the money to trigger it at this stage. Though, again, once more, my luck with snares, not so much on my side this tournament. Particularly if you've seen the last one. So he will, I think, is he going to play the medium there? Third click? No, he's going to take... Sorry, yes, so he's going to play medium third click, at which point I have to mill. I have the Jackson, so I'm not too concerned. But that Plascrete is certainly doing my noggin in. There's no denying it. And I reminded him that he needs to come on with a virus counter because of Grimoire. Aren't I a nice chap? And he will click with Armitage and pass the turn over to me. At which point I draw up the Wall of Static, the third one. And I certainly need to think about protecting R&D here, otherwise I'm going to have problems. So, do you score the hostile takeover, or do you protect R&D? I think at this stage I would protect R&D, which I do. Good. Okay, I'm glad I was thinking along the same lines. And I'd probably then... Oh, okay, I'm going to draw. Second click, seeing the double Scorched combo, and another Enigma, and the Punitives, and take a credit. Last click, and discard. Probably going to get rid of the Enigma because for some reason I'm absolutely allergic to ice here. I no longer have much use for my Project Atlas tokens, as I have 2 Scorched, a Sea Source, and 2 Punitives in hand. So what am I going to discard? that's a challenge. So I'm going to discard the Punitive Counter-Strike. I figured that if worst comes to worst, I can always Jackson Howard it back in, use the Atlas token and bring it back out again, so it's not the end of the world.
Please, no more. Please, no more Frozen.
Don't have a huge amount of money. Do have a lot of cars in archives already.
Every way, shape and form.
But still, I'm 2 agenda points up. This is encouraging. He will run... he will use Katie and put 3 on Katie.
That's it. Game over. You might as well give up. How many games?
With his final click, he'll have a think about where he's going to draw. Okay, pass the turn over to me.
Okay, cards in hand.
So, certainly the medium's posing a long-term problem here. I do have to be careful, so I'll do my mandatory draw and see a Beanstalk, I believe. Which is exactly the card I need to start getting me on to the kind of money I need. So, do you score the hostile takeover, or do you Beanstalk your way to fun and victory? So I'm going to score out the hostile, gaining me net gain of 5, and giving him a bad pub, taking me up to 3 agenda points, which is good. So 3 agenda points to 0, that's not too shabby. Now, although he has the medium, I still have the means to keep him out. He doesn't have any breakers on the board yet, he's just playing with viruses, parasites specifically. He's going to double Plascrete, so at this stage flatline is looking increasingly unlikely. So this is the kind of point where you think, yep, might as well ditch that plan. That plan's not happening, so Scorched Earths need to go into the bin as quickly as humanly possible. Unless he goes crazy and picks up 6 agenda points in one turn, where I can double Punitive Counter-Strike him for 12. Even then, that's probably not going to be enough. So that's not going to happen. And obviously if I score cleaners, then at that point I'm probably much better off just playing for the agenda point win. But still, I'm 3 points up. Okay, so I have to give the flatline win now. I need to start building up some remote servers and scoring out. So I will install, advance, and say, come at me, brah. I can't even remember what that was actually, whether it's a 3-pointer or not. I know obviously the ice there is a chimera, so he certainly has the means to parasite it. And to get into the server. He has the deja vu in hand, as I recall, so he can bring back 2 parasites for 1 click. He could then run, 2nd click, 3rd click, he could play the parasite, and 4th click he could hit the remote, so it's achievable. But 1st click he draws, so that's now looking increasingly unlikely. 2nd click he draws. At this stage I know I can score that agenda out in hand. Score that agenda out, sorry. So that was reassuring. Probably concerned about the archers and so forth at this stage. Obviously I have the 1-point agenda I can give up. He's going to put 3 on KT for the 3rd click. I believe this deck is running knights as well, and so again he has the means to, speaking of which, he has the means to get into the servers, but unfortunately that's a little bit too late. I don't know whether he drew up into that, so I will advance 3 times and score the cleaners, taking me up to 6 agenda points with 2 Project Atlas tokens on there. So all I need to do now at this stage is next turn. All I need to do is hit use my Project Atlas token to get the 1 remaining hostile takeover out of my deck and win the match. This is the plan, ladies and gentlemen. The plan is to just make sure I keep my hostile takeover now. So he's running. I'm not going to res because I need the money. He sees 2 cards. Oh, and he sees a government contract. So that's fine though. That's fine because I don't need that. I've got the win next turn. It's in the bag. Not a problem. As long as he doesn't see the hostile takeover, it's all good. It's all good. I don't mind him scoring 3 points if I still win the game. So he'll run through again, see an extra card, obviously with the use of medium. I'm not going to res, because I don't need to. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a hostile takeover. Yep, that is just the nature of the game. That really sums up, in fact, my whole tournament experience this month. He sees the game-winning agenda for me, and now he's on 4 cards. I know I don't have 3 in the deck, I only have 2, and so now I have to do it the hard way. And I have to try and score out an agenda and win the game the old-fashioned way. I've only got 5 credits in hand. I still need to res all that ice. He's got a way through on R&D, so he's on 4 points. Flatlines out of the question with 2 plascretes. So from a game-winning position to a very weak position, I'm now in a whole heap of trouble. Oh, hostile takeover. Why could you not have been 1 card lower down? Such is the nature of the game. Sometimes the forces of luck are against you. Those Project Atlas counters not going to great work, it has to be said. So I will draw with Jackson. Sorry, just draw 1, I think. That was my mandatory draw, so I'll draw 2 of Jackson 1st click. And obviously we've got financial problems, so I'm going to trash that with the knight on it to try and get rid of the knight and install. So I think they're both ice walls. And again here I'm just trying to keep him out so that that medium doesn't hit. And then I'm going to discard, well I might as well discard the punitive counter-strike because that's not going to do any good whatsoever at this stage. He's on 4 points, all he has to do is see 1 more 3-pointer and he's 1, of which there are plenty. So he'll run on archives, and funnily enough I'll be using Jackson Howard there to shuffle back in some agendas that I've discarded over the course of the game. So Punitives, Ice, Neurally MPs. Actually, did I even discard any agendas here? I'm not sure. I'm sure I did initially. There's a Project Atlas there. 2 Project Atlases, so I'll definitely put those back in. And that's it. So now it's just a case of the 3rd card to put in. And I'm going to choose to pop in some economy, I would imagine. Maybe some ice. I haven't got any decent ice, unfortunately, for against this deck, so I'm going to put in the Beanstalk royalties. And let them have a look at the rest. Just going to have a quick check to make sure there aren't actually any agendas left in there. I think I was a little bit paranoid. I might have accidentally left an agenda there. So both those Project Atlases are back in the deck now, which means again I can tutor for them with the other Project Atlas counter and score out the 2 points I need to win the match. It does make R&D a more enticing target, however. There's now an additional 4 points in R&D. So he will run 3rd click and I'll res the Ice Wall, paying 1, and keep him out. So he knows now he needs to go and fetch the parasites he needs, so he's going to tutor with Jin and find a parasite. If that's his final click, that'll be going into his grip. So I will mandatory draw, see the Enigma. Got plenty of money, got a Beanstalk and 2 hedge funds there by the looks of it. And again, I can go and just get the so I'm going to solidify the remote. That's the plan. I'm going to play that. I'm going to play a Beanstalk, gain 4, and then I'm going to hedge fund. So the idea is now I've hopefully got a more secure remote server. Next game, next turn, I can use my Atlas token to fetch another Atlas and hopefully go through and score what I need. So first click he'll do that, and I mill. He will then run R&D, at which point I res the other Ice Wall for 1 to keep him out. He has 2 clicks remaining, and he at this stage is going to play the Deja Vu he's had in hand for a while, and he's going to go and find the 2 parasites, put them back in his hand. So he has 1 click left. And I think he just takes some money. So I will draw. Draw. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing here. I've got the Project Atlas there in hand, so I can put it in the remote. I'm going to draw again. See a Jackson. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing there. I need to be putting that in a remote and trying to score it. So what I do, so I put it in and say, "Come at me, bro." He, at which point, will put put a parasite on the Ice Wall. 2nd click he'll run, and this obviously, at this point now, I know is going to be almost certainly game over. So he will run and see the last 3-pointer he needs and take the win. So thus ends my tournament in even further ignominy and defeat. Oh, there's all the snares that he didn't see. Yes, of course, that's just the nature of my luck. So that's, yeah, for those of you keeping count, that's 7-1 loss over the course of the day. A tournament to be forgotten. I would suggest that you forget these casts ever occurred and join us over at Netrunners.co.uk, where people who actually know what they're talking about also write articles, and also join us on the forums as well. It'd be good to see you. If you're looking for a forum board for your local group, please get in contact with me at admin@netrunners.co.uk. I'd be more than happy to set one up for you and your local meta. Our next tournament will be taking place on the 8th of March at Worcester Manaleak for the Store Championships. Please come along and join us. Until next time, folks, you've been watching Netrunners.co.uk, and we hope to see you again soon. Take care.